protege Ryan is at corporate. Good stuff. Andy and Dwight are rocking the sales team. I feel very blessed.
This situation is an inelastic collision because at first the car and Meredith are two separate units with their own mass, velocity, and momentum. When the car hits Meredith, the car and Meredith become one unit with a combined mass in the same velocity and ultimately the same momentum.
Okay, all right, fine. Everyone calm down. Someone get me a banana. Sorry I freaked you guys out.
Andy!
Ah! God! It's so loud!
This situation shows momentum because the bullet has a certain mass and when it's fired it has a certain velocity. The equation for momentum is P equals mv. So if you multiply the bullet's mass and velocity, you'll find the momentum of the bullet. In order to change the momentum of the bullet, you would need to apply a net force.
Say go to the right.
It can't mean that. There's a lake
I
there.
think it knows where it is going.
This is the
The
lake.
machine
This
knows.
is the lake.
Stop yelling at me.
No, it's
Stop
up there.
yelling.
There's no road here. Remain calm. I have trained for this. Okay. Exit the window. Here we go.
Make a U-turn, if possible.
Look out for Leighton. Michael, are you okay? Swim for it. I got you. I got you. Michael. Michael. Let go. Let go of Michael. Come on. I got you. I got you. Come on. Come on. Go on.
This situation shows buoyancy or the lack thereof. The car is not buoyant or it does not float because the mass of the car is larger than the amount of water it displaces. This causes the force of the car on the water and the force of the water on the car to be uneven, ultimately making the car sink.
Parkour! 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 I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on! Do it! Yeah! Parkour.
A projectile is an object thrown into the air. This situation shows projectile motion because Andy starts above the zero position and he jumps off of the building, which gives him an accelerating velocity and a time in both the x and y directions. When Andy is in the air, the only force on him is the force of Earth. All of these factors contribute to the projectile motion.
Are you ready?
No, my
Set,
glutes are really
go!
tight. I can't.
Am I being mean to Dwight? I don't know. I did just make him run around the building, and I have no intention of timing him. This isn't even a stopwatch. It's a digital thermometer.
This situation shows non-constant velocity or acceleration because Dwight's initial velocity is 0 meters per second, but as he begins to run, his speed is continuously increasing at a constant rate. His final velocity is higher than his initial velocity.
Kinetic energy is energy that a body possesses by virtue of being in motion, so an object has kinetic energy if it is in motion. This situation shows kinetic energy because the snowball has a certain mass and velocity and it is moving.
That's about as good as that's gonna be.
Okay, now here's the plan. I'm gonna launch him. I need you to go down to the bottom and catch him.
Catch?
Yeah.
I can't catch him. He's like 250 pounds.
You use your hands and just blunt his descent. Okay, he's gonna be moving slowly. It's only
Blunt?
It's 15 feet down. It's at a 45-degree angle. Get set in your haunches. It's like you're catching a medicine.
The size of my haunches.
Okay. Good call. He would have put a hole in your chest, same as he put a hole in that wall.
We should probably call a doctor or something, dude.
The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. This situation shows that GPE equals KE, because at first Stanley and Dwight are stationary and above the zero position. All of their energy is gravitational potential energy. Then, as the two slide down, the energy switches from GPE to KE. At the bottom of the path, Dwight and Stanley are at the zero position, and they both have a certain final velocity. This shows that the gravitational potential energy was transferred to kinetic energy.
You should get one of these. No, thank you. Do you even know what this is? It is a fitness orb, and it has completely changed my life.
Elastic potential energy is energy stored from a displacement in an elastic object. This situation shows EPE because Dwight is on a fitness ball and moving up and down. As Dwight bounces, he is causing a small displacement in the ball. Also, the ball is very similar to a spring and has elastic qualities.
What am I doing? I am blowing dodge.
This situation shows constant velocity because the train is moving the same distance at the same amount of time. As Michael tries to jump on the train, it is going at a constant velocity.